Joanne, did you see the news? It said electricity bills went up another 30 to 40% this winter. Can you believe this crap?
Yeah, I saw. Things are getting so hard for average working people. Gas and electricity are already through the roof, and yet the expenses just keep piling up. Where does it end?
You're always at home. You need to stop using the heating, we can't afford it.
In the dead of winter? Are you joking?
Do you have any idea how our bills are going to be if you have it turned up like that all day? We're going to be paying out the eyeballs if we don't get it in check. You can keep warm by working harder, cleaning the house, huh? It only gets real cold at night, but that's fine, because I can keep you toasty and warm if you catch my drift, sweet cheeks. Start wearing thicker clothes till I get back and toughen the heck up, huh?
You do realize that if I don't turn the heating on, it's going to be as cold inside the house as it is outside. I can't live like that. What do you think I am, an Eskimo?
That's why I told you to wear thicker clothes and toughen up. You'll get by somehow. How do you think people survive before central heating?
I don't know, by suffering a lot? Besides, why can't I have the heating on? It's always at max capacity whenever you're in the house.
Yep, when you're the man of the house, you have a duty to be maximally snug. How am I supposed to pull in Iron Man numbers at the office if I ain't as toasty as a campfire marshmallow? You don't have a job, so you better make damn sure you turn it off when I leave the house. A stay-at-home housewife does not need the heating on. It's a waste of money.
How's it a waste of money? I might not work in a cubicle, but I still work. I'm busy around the house all day. What's heating for if not keeping people warm? Why should we only turn it on when you're home?
Because I'm the one who puts the bread on the table, honey bun. It's only fair I get special treatment. What would you do if you got a cold? Ever think about that, huh? Huh? If I couldn't work anymore, where would the money come from? It'll be finished, I tell you, finished!
Fine, point taken. I'll do as you say.
Listen, baby, here's what I'll do. If I ever get promoted to manager, I'll let you use the aircon once a week during the summer if there's ever a heatwave.
Do you have ambitions for promotion?
It's not like I'm planning on it, but let's face it, it's gonna happen eventually. This is me we're talking about here. If you ask me, we're talking months, not years. The president loves me and everyone knows it. It's not what you know, it's who you know. I even have his number. That's how tight we are.
Wow, like his private phone number? That's actually impressive.
Right? It's obvious he's got me in the sights for promotion. I'm on the road to success and ain't no one gonna stop me. Full speed ahead!
That's great, honey. Being buddies with the president can only be a good thing.
I can't deny it stings a little to act like his lapdog, but it's gonna pay off in a big way one day. Ability is important, but it's nowhere as important as integrating yourself with the bigwigs. That's the key to success. And when it comes to that, ain't no one as talented as me. All the higher-ups love me. It's been the same at every job I ever had.
Your company's president is an amazing guy, right?
Yep. He went from being raised by a single mom in one of the poorest towns in the country to single-handedly building one of the most respected donut companies on the planet. He's got the brains, he's got the charisma, he's got the donuts! He's got it all! To tell you the truth, I want to be like him. I've been with him a lot these last months, like shadowing him. You know, it might sound crazy, but something tells me he's training me up to be a successor.
Wow.
Huh? What's wow supposed to mean?
I didn't particularly mean anything by it. I'm just impressed is all.
Liar. You don't seem interested in what I'm saying at all. You're the one who asked me about him in the first place. Why the heck you gotta reply like such a deflated balloon, huh? You making fun of me?
No, I'm really not.
Whatever. There's no way someone like you could understand what an incredible man the president is. Stay-at-home housewives aren't exactly renowned for their brains. As if someone like you could ever comprehend what it takes to manage a company. All you have to do is my supper.
Sorry. I didn't mean to upset you, honey. I wasn't making fun of you at all, I swear.
Relax, this is my fault. I should have known better than to expect you to be able to hold your own in a conversation about complicated big brain stuff. Still, I shouldn't be so hard on you. You might have the intelligence of a grapefruit, but at least you know how to do what you're told. That's the most important quality in a woman. Do not use the heating while I'm at work, you got that? Don't think I won't know if you use it in secret. I know everything. I'll be able to tell from the utility bills, and believe me, there will be hell to pay. Hey! The utilities went up! Did you turn the heating on in secret?
I haven't been using it at all.
Why do the bills keep going up then? It doesn't add up.
Maybe because you always have it turned up to max whenever you're at home. I have to wear t-shirts when you're around because the place turned into a damn sauna. You could at least turn it down a bit. Why does it have to be on max?
Whatever, I hardly use it.
I knew this was coming. Things were bound to get expensive with how hot the house has been on your days off lately. What's the point of me being sat around freezing my pinky off during the day if you do this? You're canceling out my efforts.
It's the damn government's fault for not handling the economy better. I'll catch a cold if I don't turn it up. You don't want me to get sick, do you, babe?
What's wrong with putting more layers on? That's what you tell me to do. Why can't you take your own advice?
God, you're a pain in the ass. Sip it already, you damn foghorn! I'm the breadwinner in this household, and I will not be talked down to by the likes of you. Whatever the extra heating I use is costing us, we'll just have to save elsewhere.
How are we supposed to save any more money than we already are if not on the heating? I live complete without gas or electricity when you're not home. I may as well be in the Stone Age. There's literally no more money to be saved.
Oh, yes, there is. You seem to be forgetting something. Gasoline. That's right. You're banned from using gasoline from now on.
What? But how am I supposed to drive?
You're banned from driving.
What the heck? You can't ban me from driving? How am I supposed to live without the car? It takes 20 minutes to walk to the nearest supermarket.
So walk 20 minutes. Jeez, are you seriously complaining over a measly 20 minutes? Being a stay-at-home housewife made you lazy. Back in my grandparents' day, they walked 20 minutes and they liked it. I can't believe you're actually making it out like it's a big deal.
It might not seem like much, but you gotta remember I'm gonna be carrying a bunch of shopping bags on the way back. And there's a limit on how much I can carry without the car. Are you really that desperate to save money?
Yep.
Fine.
Oh yeah, you talking about the supermarket reminded me. I have an online drinking party with my old buddies from high school. I want some beer and nuts ready on the table before it starts, eh? Make it happen.
Huh? Today?
Yep. Go buy me a case of beer.
Didn't you see the weather report for today?
Snow, right? What's the big deal? Same as usual.
This is nothing like usual, Rishi. Have you looked out the window? We're due record snowfall for crying out loud. I'll get buried. Do you really expect me to go to the supermarket in this? On foot?
Yep. What's the problem?
You want me to walk to the supermarket in the middle of a record-breaking snowstorm for a case of beer? Please just be real with me for a moment. It's a whiteout outside. This is nothing like going out for a walk on a normal day.
You grew up in Canada, Joanne. No one's more used to snow than you. Believe in yourself, babe. If anyone can do this, you can.
Just because I grew up around snow doesn't mean I can go out for a stroll in a record-breaking snowstorm. Look out the window for heaven's sake. I won't last 5 minutes. It said on the news to stay indoors.
They always say that. Oh, the world's gone soft, babe. Surely you ain't gonna listen to those pansies.
I don't even have a bike. How am I supposed to bring back a case of beer? Beer is kinda heavy, you know?
Carry it, you big sissy!
Are you serious?
Dead serious. If you have time to whine at me like this, you have time to go to the supermarket. If I didn't have a case of beer and some nuts for my drinking party with the boys later, I'm kicking you the hell out. You can spend the night in the yard.
Rishi?
Hey, boss, what's up? I can't say I expected a message from the company president today.
You're fired.
Fired? Where the hell did that come from, boss?
Don't play dumb with me, you sniveling rat. That kind of scumbag who kicks his wife out in the middle of a snowstorm is not welcome at our company.
My wife?
I heard all about how you forced her to walk into the supermarket in this god-awful weather. Oh yes, you banned her from driving too, didn't you?
How'd you know all this?
I ran into Joanne.
Where?
On the street. I almost ran over a woman crossing the road when I was out driving with my wife. My visibility was next to nothing with the intensity of the snowstorm, so I didn't see her till the last second. But thankfully I was able to brake in time.
And that woman was my wife?
I jumped out of the car to check on her because I could tell something wasn't right. She was hobbling along like she was about to collapse. When I did, I noticed her face was covered in frozen tears. I could see she was in a bad way, so we sat her down in the car and asked her what happened. She would have come down with frostbite if she stayed out any longer. My wife can't look the other way when someone's in need.
Sir, what exactly did my wife tell you?
She said you forced her to cut back on living expenses to such an extreme level that it was affecting her health. And in spite of that fact, you banned her from using practically every modern amenity there is. You always had the heating turned up to max whenever you were home. Basically, you're an overbearing control freak with less financial sense than a donkey.
Whoa, please, Brian. I mean, sir. Let's just slow down for a sec here. That's not true at all. The only reason I told her to start being more financially conscious was because our outgoings were going about a rate of knots. That's for her own benefit, I swear. Listen, sir, the thing you should know about my wife is... she has the kind of, how to put it, victim complex. She's always been like this. As soon as she gets stressed out or unhappy, she starts telling the craziest lies.
The only liar here is you. She showed me your message history. You bullied, ridiculed, and insulted her like it was no one's business.
No way, I didn't!
Lies! You looked down on her for being a stay-at-home housewife. I hate guys like you more than anything in the world. You make me sick.
Sir?
Looking through your message history reminded me of my dad. He was a controlling, misogynistic scumbag like you. He thought my mom being a stay-at-home housewife made her inferior to him. She lived in terror, constantly walking on eggshells and doing whatever it took to keep him happy. But it was never enough. I worked like my life depended on it to protect her.
Wow, really, sir? I had no idea.
You're just like my good-for-nothing waste of a space dad. You disgust me. My mom divorced him in the end. It was the best decision she ever made. We didn't need him one bit. Not with me there to look after her. Scum like you is not welcome at my company.
But sir, please! I wanted to become president one day. This might sound strange, but I think you're incredible, sir. Seeing the way you work, how you rush around like a man possessed, keeping everything running smoothly all the time, it really inspires me. To tell you the truth, you're my idol.
I'm your idol? You want to be like me? Don't make me laugh. My wife is the most important person in the world to me. More important than my job. More important than the company itself.
More important than the company?
I wouldn't have been able to accomplish any of it without her. The only reason I'm able to keep things running smoothly at work all the time is because she's there supporting me, day in and day out. You'll never be like me if you think you can go it alone. And you're in for a rude wake-up call if you're deluded enough to believe otherwise.
No, I could do it, sir. I know I have what it takes, but please. This is all one huge misunderstanding. It's not what you think. Can we talk about this in person?
No can do. I already went home. There's no reason to stay out in weather this awful. By the way, we brought your wife home with us too. We wouldn't have been able to sleep if we let her go back to someone like you.
Wait, Joanne's at your house? Please, can I speak to her?
Hi, it's me.
Joanne! It seems like there's been some kind of huge misunderstanding. I never mistreated you, did I? Except that maybe I was a little strict every now and then, but I did it for you. You know I always had your best interests at heart, right, babe?
Listen to me. I almost died because of you. The sled I was using to carry your beer broke on the way home from the supermarket. The blizzard got worse, and my walking slowed down because of the cold. Things got so bad that I wasn't even sure if I could make it home anymore. I broke down in tears, feeling lost and hopeless. If your company president and his wife hadn't showed up when they did, I shudder to think what might have happened to me.
Wow, I see. I'm so sorry. You shouldn't have had to go through that, but why didn't you just call me if you were struggling so much? I would have been out in the car in a flash.
Huh? What's gotten into you? You changed your tune from constantly calling me useless and lazy. Are you being nice to me because your boss is here? You really are a crafty piece of shit.
Oh, what the heck? Don't call me things like that, babe. Your words, they hurt.
Brian's wife told me she was there to listen if there was anything I wanted to tell her. And there was. A lot. I told her everything. Even if she was a stranger, I thought it'd feel good to get everything off my chest. I realized the guy who saved me was none other than the president of your company halfway through the conversation. You should have seen the look on his face when he realized I was your wife. Our jaws were practically on the floor.
I understand how you feel, babe. You've been through a lot. We can carry on this conversation at home, right?
I'm not coming home today.
What?
Brian's wife invited me out for dinner. After that, she said I'm spending the night here in their spare room. It didn't sound like I had a choice, and besides, who might have turned down such hospitality? So yeah, I won't be coming home tonight. Deal with it.
What are you talking about? This is the president of my company we're talking about here. You can't stay at his house. Hurry up and come home and let's end this nonsense.
Why would I come home when me and the president's wife are getting along so well? Her and Brian are pleasant to be around, and they're actually nice to me, unlike you.
But well, the president really likes me too. I was his favorite employee at the whole company.
Based on what? Your own delusions? You couldn't be more wrong. Brian couldn't have cared less about you.
What?
It took him a few seconds to realize who I was even talking about when I first mentioned you. He said, "Oh, that really annoying guy who's constantly brown-nosing me." Needless to say, he didn't have a particularly high opinion of you.
But I had his phone number. His personal phone number, Joanne.
That was from the company New Year's party, right? He said he got carried away and gave you it while he was embarrassingly drunk after one too many champagnes. It really wasn't as profoundly significant as you seem to think it was.
No way.
Yes way. Are we done now? Get your own beer and nuts.
Joanne! When are you coming home?
You're annoying. I'm busy baking a cake with the president's wife right now. Stop bugging me.
No, you're the one bugging them. I bet they're secretly sick and tired of having you around. They're just too nice to send you home.
Wrong. To the contrary, I announced my departure because I thought I was getting in their way. But they insisted I'll stay a little longer because they wanted me to meet someone. I'll be home after that.
They want you to meet someone. Who?
A lawyer. They told me to hang around a little longer while they find me a good divorce lawyer.
A divorce lawyer? What? Is this some kind of joke?
Brian told me I shouldn't be married to a man like you. He said I could do so much better.
What? Just because he's my boss doesn't give him the right to go interfering in my private life? This crosses the line.
You see, Rishi, the thing is, I agree with him. Me and you are done. We're getting a divorce. Not because Brian told me to, but because that's what I want.
How are you going to get by without me? It'll never work. You need me. You're a stay-at-home housewife, damn it. How do you expect to find work? You'll never be able to support yourself without me putting food on the table.
Don't worry about it. Brian said there are some openings at his company. I know that's probably the last thing you wanted to hear after getting fired, but meh, whatever.
Why do I have to get fired? So I was a little cold towards my wife, so what? Why does that mean I should lose my job? No matter which way you look at it, this isn't fair.
Allow me to explain why you were dismissed.
Brian.
That's right. Your wife just gave me the phone. Now, about your dismissal. Of course you're not being dismissed over this little incident. That would be an abuse of my powers.
You mean there are other reasons? I've been working my butt off to bring in results for this company ever since I joined. No one works as hard as me.
Hearing about what a rotten human being you are from your wife got me curious about your reputation at work. I called several of the managers and asked them what they thought of you. They didn't have anything particularly bad to say.
Right? Of course they didn't.
But they didn't have anything particularly good to say either. Not satisfied, I decided to call some of the regular employees from your department. When I did, it was nothing but complaints and criticism.
No way. There has to be some kind of mistake.
I heard all about how you forced your work onto employees lower down the hierarchy than you, and then bragged to the managers as if you'd done the work yourself. You had your work up all the managers' asses and treated everyone below you like crap. That's your reputation at this company. To be honest, it was difficult to listen to. I feel like I failed in my duty as company president by allowing a rat like you to stay on my ship for this long. Countless new employees left because of you.
No way, I never made anyone leave. They probably just weren't cut out for the job, huh? Who the hell's telling all these lies about me?
I guess this was inevitable, with the company getting so big. There was a time when I was aware of pretty much everything that was going on. But the more the company grew, the more difficult it became. Eventually, as I delegated responsibilities to executives and managers, I stopped hearing about the reputations of the individual employees. You slipped right through the cracks.
No! Someone's trying to ruin my life by telling lies about me.
You can give it a rest already. I have plenty of proof of you forcing your work onto other employees and taking the credit for their accomplishments. I'm a strong believer in meritocracy. If I'm your idol, as you say, you should know I spent some time working in Silicon Valley.
Right, I did hear about that.
Well, in Silicon Valley, they don't tolerate lazy, deadweight employees. If you don't bring in results, you don't get to keep your job. And you, Rishi, do not get to keep your job.
Please wait! Let's not do anything drastic here, sir. With all due respect, you're making a mistake. I'm an asset. I make a big contribution to the company.
Any contribution you make is only because you steal the accomplishments of your co-workers. You're nothing but a salary thief. There is no place for a waste of space like you at my company. Find another job.
Looks like Brian's done speaking now. Good luck with the job hunting.
Joanne? No! No! Why should things go so well for you and I'm getting served up a big shit sandwich? This is not fair!
Fair? You got some nerve to talk about fairness when you forced me to live like a peasant while you lived like a king. Not anymore, though. Now you're just some jobless loser. Before long, you're gonna be shivering with cold, just like I was. You hungry? Fear not, because dinner is served. A generous serving of poverty with a side order of frostbite. With that, I swiftly divorced my husband, and the whole thing went by without a hitch. To add insult to injury, Brian, being true to his word, fired him immediately. Then, he gave me an administrative position at his company. The company my husband just got fired from. It's hard not to believe in karma sometimes. As one door closes, another one opens. Thankfully, since I was in a different department and my surname had changed, no one knew who my ex-husband was. Brian's been amazing throughout this whole thing. And thanks to his kindness, support, and understanding, getting used to my new job has been a breeze. I'm technically only part-time, but I still have access to a huge amount of employee benefits, and my salary ain't to be sniffed at either. You can tell what a great guy Brian is by the way he treats his employees, and I feel blessed to work for him. Despite only being part-time, he lets me work full-time hours when I need to supplement my income, so I have no trouble getting by on my own. Brian seems to see something in me, and he told me he thinks I should train up for some management qualifications. He even said I could take a course the company provides while continuing my usual job. Always looking for ways to improve myself and learn new things, I decided to take him up on his offer. And I'm currently juggling work with study and having a great time in the process. I feel extra motivated to work hard and prove myself because of how kind Brian has been to me. I want to show him how grateful I am by contributing to his company as much as I possibly can. As for Rishi, I already found a new job. To tell you the truth, I was disappointed when I found out how quickly he found work after getting fired. This might sound evil, but I was hoping he'd stay unemployed for a little longer. That said, it's not all plain sailing. I heard there are a few problems at his new workplace. I heard all this through Brian, who knows the president of Rishi's new company. Apparently, he's a vile tyrant of a man who sees his employees as nothing more than pawns to make him money. The work environment and office culture have been described by more than one employee as worse than hell, and they have the highest employee turnover rate in the industry. Looks like my ex-husband might be in for some rough times. Since it's him, all I can say is, let the rough times roll.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Peep Texts!
Hey, Sophia. I think I mentioned this before, but it's been playing on my mind a lot. I don't think my salary alone is gonna cut it with our baby being due soon and all. Will you keep going to the office for as long as you possibly can?
Okay, I can do that. It's our first child, and it's always a good thing to have some money saved up just in case something happens.
That's right. No one knows what the future might bring. Anything could happen. Like, maybe I might quit my job or something.
What? Do you plan on quitting your job?
No, I didn't mean it like that. I was just giving an example. I wanted to make the point that no one knows what the future might bring. So we should be prepared for anything.
Phew, you had me worried there for a sec. But if something does happen, the most important thing is that we discuss it between the two of us, right? We're a couple, and I want us to always be there to support and help each other.
Sophia, I just got assigned to a business trip scheduled for the week after next. I'm gonna be gone for about 2 weeks, so I won't be around at home at all. I hope you'll be okay.
Wow, you must have been working really hard. Nice going, babe. I don't remember you going on a 2-week trip before, though. That's a long one. What's it for?
I'm gonna be doing a training course at some rural branch office. My promotion's pinned on this, so there's no way I can get out of it.
I see. I can't deny that the thought of you not being around for 2 weeks makes me a little anxious.
I know, babe. I'm sorry. It's really important, though, so I can't miss it. I told my boss you're due to give birth this month, and they're willing to be flexible. Worst case scenario, I can always cut it short and drive back, okay?
I see. Okay, good luck, babe. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for working so hard for our future together.
Oh yeah, there was one more thing. Apparently this branch of the company is way off deep in the mountains somewhere. My boss said the net infrastructure out there isn't great, so there's a chance the signal might be bad. I just want you to know going forward that it might be difficult for us to contact each other.
Oh, really? Okay, no biggie. Just tell me the name of the hotel. At least then I'll be able to get through to someone, just in case something does happen and I can't contact you.
The name of the hotel? Sorry, they haven't told me that yet. Do you, mind if I tell you later?
Huh? Okay, I understand. Thank you, Tristan. It does mean a lot to me, you know.
Anyway, what about you?
What about me?
How's work going these days?
Work? I'd say things are going steadily. We haven't had any real problems to speak of recently.
Is that so? You didn't do anything like, well, I don't know, quitting your job without telling me, right?
No, of course I didn't.
Cool. Well, in that case, I'm pleased.
Why would you ask me that?
No reason, really. I just had a feeling. I thought you haven't really been talking about work much lately, and it made me wonder. Since you didn't tell me anything, my mind started working overtime, and I was worried you might have quit without saying anything.
I'd never do anything like that. We promised we'd always speak to each other whenever anything was bothering us, after all, no matter what.
We did?
Yes, we did. The time I agreed to keep going to the office till it was no longer possible so we'd have enough money in case of an emergency. Remember now?
Oh yeah, that was it. You jogged my memory. Sorry, babe. It just slipped my mind is all.
I meant it, you know. If anything's ever troubling you, I want you to know you can talk to me.
Meh. Well, you see, the thing is, I'm fine, actually.
What does that mean? I'm fine, actually. You mean you don't want to talk to me?
It means I can make my own decisions without talking to you. I'm an independent guy.
What? That's not what I meant. I mean, think about what you just asked me. If I went and quit my job without telling you or anything, things would get really difficult for you, right? Which is why it's important for us to talk to each other as a couple whenever we're not sure how to proceed with something or we're about to make a big decision.
Oh, yeah. That does make sense, actually. Okay, sure.
You know, stuff like maybe one of us is having a hard time at work, so we'll discuss the prospect of switching jobs once we find somewhere else to go, or helping each other look for new companies. Or maybe if one of us had some kind of long-term illness, we'd discuss taking holidays before taking the plunge and finally quitting to avoid the finances taking major unexpected hits. We can come up with all sorts of solutions if we discuss things and work as a team.
Yeah.
We're a couple, so it's not fair if either of us makes major decisions on our own. All I'm trying to say is that I want us to discuss things before deciding to go ahead with them.
Yeah, I get it. Let's do that from now on, then.
We have to be on our A games now, Tristan. We're gonna have a son to think about very soon.
I said I get it. I'll be more careful from now on.
Tristan? I just had a phone call from your boss. He said you left something behind at the office? I thought you were on a business trip. This doesn't make sense.
Gah! What? My boss called you?
He said he tried calling you countless times, but your phone was switched off. He said he didn't know what else to do because he couldn't get through to you.
I see. I've been out of state for a while. That's probably why. So, he didn't tell you anything else, did he? Other than I forgot something?
Yes, he did actually. He said that you quit your job. What the hell are you doing, Tristan? Explain yourself. Did something happen at work? Were you in trouble? Stressed? Did you lie about being on a business trip?
Fine. Yeah, I lied. I quit my job ages ago.
What? It's true? Why didn't you say anything to me? I didn't have a clue. We agreed to speak to each other about things like this, did we not?
Maybe we did. But it's not like there was any point in discussing it. I didn't talk to you because I was already 100% dead set on quitting. Nothing you said could have changed that.
What? You were 100% dead set? Why? Why did you quit? Talk to me, Tristan.
Come on, isn't it obvious, Sophia? There you are, living life on easy mode like some kind of queen.
I'm living life on easy mode? What?
Then there I am, like some sucker, spending most of my time at the office to fund your lavish lifestyle. You do nothing but laze around the house and slack off, saying you don't feel well.
Lazing around and slacking off? I can't believe what I'm hearing. It's not like I choose to feel unwell. Do you think I enjoy being 8 months pregnant and barely being able to move?
Is it true, though? When a woman's pregnant, she can say she feels unwell even if she doesn't, and she'll suddenly have the whole world bending over backwards to accommodate her laziness. So you can get time off whenever you want, and it's not fair.
Taking time off work while heavily pregnant is unfair? Fine, Tristan. How about you give birth to our son instead, then?
Believe me, I would if I could. It doesn't seem half bad. You get to take time off work and sit on your backside eating potato chips all day the moment you say you got a headache.
Why are you speaking to me like that? Is this what you've secretly thought of me the whole time?
Yeah, it is. That's why I quit my job, so things can finally be fair between us.
You quit your job so things could be fair? I don't even understand what that means. And if your business trip was a lie, where the hell are you now?
I'm far, far away, deep in the mountains. I bought a house.
What? You bought a house? What the heck?
I always wanted to live a semi-self-sufficient life in the countryside. I saw this as the perfect opportunity, so I took it.
Which part of leaving your heavily pregnant wife to get by on her own in the city was the perfect opportunity?
I mean, it was the perfect opportunity for you to pay me back for all I've done for you and look after me for a change. You've been living life on easy mode because you're pregnant for a long time. And it's my turn now. Make sure you look after me properly. It's what I'm owed.
Look after you? What does that mean? Are you really so desperate to be a cabbage-growing mountain man that you'd throw away our future together? Was the thought of growing old together with me so awful for you? Why did you have to do this now?
It's not that I had to do it. Nothing was forcing me. It's because I wanted to. And I wanted to do it now. Besides, there's nothing stopping me lead a simple, self-sufficient life long into old age.
I'm due to give birth soon. What do you plan on doing about that minor detail?
What do you mean, what do I plan on doing? Why don't I have to plan on doing anything? I'm sick of being the one who fixes everything.
Then there's the money solution. You do plan on coming back soon, don't you? What are you gonna do about your house when you do? Have you even thought this through?
That's just the thing. I won't be coming back precisely because I have thought it through. I'm gonna be living here forever. This is my little slice of paradise, and I don't plan on giving it up. Deal with the money situation yourself. Lord knows I've been providing for you for long enough. Oh yeah, make sure you send me plenty of food deliveries though.
Food deliveries? What? You quit your job without saying anything, then you abandoned me and your son, then you ask me to send you food deliveries? Are you insane?
Of course I'm asking you. It's what's owed to me for all I've done for you. Do you have any idea how hard I've been working to make you happy? To make sure that you never wanted or needed for anything? It's only natural you return the debt of gratitude.
The debt of gratitude? There was me thinking we were a couple, when it turns out we were nothing but a business transaction all along. How silly of me. Did we not agree we'd both work hard together for each other? I'm not saying I deserve a medal or anything, but you're not the only one who's been working hard, you know. Do you have any idea how much overtime I was doing before it got too difficult?
You're the one who wanted us to discuss things as a couple, right? Well, that's why I'm telling you this now. We're discussing. Your salary went down when you started taking days off work. There's a serious indiscrepancy here, and it's not fair. If I'm giving 100%, you're giving 40. That leaves a gap of 60%, which I expect you to account for.
What is this? Is our marriage just a spreadsheet to you? How can you think like this? How can you say such hurtful things?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's got something to do with me being overworked and reaching my mental limit. So much so that I feel half tempted to take you to court and demand what you owe me in compensation.
There's no talking to you. I'm done with this. Fine, whatever. I'll send you some food packages. Tell me your address.
I'm pleased you came to see things from my perspective quickly. There's a good girl. But now, make sure you send me enough food and money to get by for a few months. You can send more later. Thanks. Your dad's a farmer, right? This should be good. I can't wait. How's work going, Sophia? Can I get a progress update?
It's going fine as usual.
That's great news. I'm totally dependent on your salary now, so I need you to put on a good show. Oh yeah, thanks for the food packages. They came this morning. 5 whole boxes! They're absolutely crammed full, too. That's my girl. One thing, though. I'm guessing you did it by mistake, but next time, make sure you don't send it payment on delivery, okay?
Listen, Tristan, about that. Did you actually look inside the boxes?
Nah, not yet. It's food and money, right? They're pretty damn heavy, so I don't see what else it could be.
I wonder, what could it be?
Huh? Wait. No way. Hey! These boxes are full of mud! What the hell you think you playing at?
You have no idea how hard it was filling those things up and getting them sent off.
Don't screw me around, Sophia! Where's my money and food? I spent the last of my money on the delivery fee for this goddamn mud! This is serious!
You're broke and penniless because you bought 5 boxes of mud?
You know full well I am! This isn't a joke! Quit laughing at me! Do you really think you're gonna get away with this? You won't be laughing for long! Send me some real food packages, now!
You think I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut and obey your ridiculous demands like some kind of slave? Besides, surely if you went to the lengths of quitting your job, you must have had some savings put to one side to help you get by for at least a few months, right?
I used all my savings on the house! Even if I don't have any savings, I'd have no problem living off your salary if you sent me regular deliveries of food and money.
Wow. Wouldn't it be nice if the world really was that simple? There's just one small problem. I have absolutely no obligation to do that whatsoever.
What? You owe me a debt of gratitude! You still don't appreciate how hard I work for you, do you?
A debt of gratitude? You can spew as much baseless nonsense at me as you like. It doesn't make it true. Actually, any kind of positive sentiment I had towards you completely disappeared when my eyes were opened to your extreme selfishness and arrogance. If you want handouts, how about you go and sponge off your parents instead?
Don't be so stupid! I can't tell my parents I quit my job at a time like this!
Aha! So you do have some level of awareness that what you're doing is wrong. Ashamed, are we? Is there a conscience hiding away in there after all? Whatever you do, I'll be going into the hospital for the birth of our son soon. So, as much as it pains me, I'm not going to be able to respond to your messages for a while.
Hurry up and send me some stuff before you go in then! Don't make excuses! What would you do if I starved to death? How would you be able to live with yourself?
Don't be silly. You'll be fine. Just research which herbs and grasses are safe to eat online before your phone contract gets deactivated. I'm surprised you haven't already. I would have thought that would be the first thing on your list as a newly self-sufficient mountain man.
Like hell I can go around eating grass. There are bears around here, you know? If I go around making myself conspicuous, I might not come home.
There are bears there? Oh, surely you should have investigated stuff like this before quitting your job and buying a house.
They didn't tell me when they gave me the viewing. The guy said the place was safe and I had nothing to worry about.
Oh no. Did you get scammed?
Scammed? No way! In fact, I got a really good deal on the place. It's an old house that no one was living in. They sold me it so cheap you wouldn't believe. You're probably jealous, huh?
Has it not occurred to you that the reason it was so cheap is because there are bears everywhere? Whatever. I'm not interested in talking about your house. The bottom line is whatever you say to me, I won't be sending you food packages, and you won't be getting a cent out of me.
Why not? That's not fair! I always wanted to live deep in the mountains. It's been a dream of mine since I was a kid. It's a wife's duty to support her husband's dreams. You must have a few dreams of your own, Sophia. Have you no humanity?
Sure, I have dreams, but nothing I want so bad I'd abandon my family over. I asked you before, didn't I? Did you really have to do this now? Isn't that exactly what you're doing by choosing now of all times to do this? Abandoning me and your son? We're your family, Tristan. I have no obligation to look after a husband who'd do something like this to me.
How can you be so heartless? After all I've done for you, I'd be there in a heartbeat if it was you who was in trouble, Sophia. I'd always come home to help you, even living here in the mountains, no matter what.
It's me who's in trouble, you idiot! I'm about to give birth on my own. How interesting that you're suddenly saying this now after all this time. After buying yourself a new house to live in completely on your own and making it abundantly clear you don't care about me. Your home is in the mountains now.
No, listen to me.
No, I won't. I'm done with you. Deal with your own mess. And don't expect any help from me.
Sophia, please! Help me! This is my hour of need! I'm begging you! Could you send me some money at the very least? Forget the food. I could buy my own if I got money.
Nope. Oh yeah, when our son's born, I'll be taking him to your parents' place and introducing him.
What? No, don't! Why would you want to go to my parents' place without me there? That would just be weird, right? Of course it would. Don't do that. Please. It'd probably be real awkward for my folks if you went without me. Trust me, they hate stuff like that.
Are you a total moron? Me and your parents get along great. We always have. They're so excited to meet their first grandson. Whether you're there or not makes no difference.
Fine. Whatever. Look, just don't tell them anything about me, okay? Just tell them I'm on a long business trip abroad, okay? You can do that for me. Right, babe? Right?
A business trip abroad? Have you lost your mind? I have to admit, I am embarrassed at the thought of discussing the fact that my husband is a penniless mountain hermit, so it's not something I'll bring up myself. But if they ask, I intend to answer honestly.
No. Please wait, Sophia. Will you please just be flexible on this one thing? I need to speak to you about this seriously. The signal's terrible at this house, so I can't discuss it properly right now. I'm gonna run down to the base of the mountain. I'll ring you when I get there, okay? You'll answer, right?
There's absolutely nothing to be gained by talking to you. So, while it's unfortunate, allow me to politely refuse your request.
Don't say that! Please, I'm begging you! You said it was important to discuss things! Look, I'm sorry I quit my job without telling you and bought a house in the mountains. We're a couple, aren't we, babe? Isn't being a couple all about helping and being there for each other?
Oh, I see. The fact that we're a couple is suddenly important to you now that you want something from me? You're the one who told me I need to get by somehow on my own. You're the one who made this marriage no longer about helping each other. Good luck with that self-sufficient mountain man life you've always dreamed of. You should be celebrating, baby. You finally realized your childhood dream.
No, please, I'm begging you. I've never been this serious about anything. Aha, I got it. Why don't you come and live here with me? It'll be great, baby. Just me, you, and nature. It's perfect. Why didn't I think of it before? You'll come, won't you?
Don't forget the bears. I guess they fall under nature though, huh? If you look hard enough, you'll see my answer is already waiting for you. It's in the bottom of one of those mud-filled boxes. It's in the form of the fully filled-in divorce papers with my signature on them. Be a darling and get them signed and turned in ASAP. After that, I was admitted to the hospital and gave birth to a healthy baby boy. Tristan's parents came to see me in the hospital after the birth, but they were both shocked to find that their son was nowhere to be seen. When I explained why that was, they were shocked, dismayed, and disgusted in equal measure, and apologized profusely. Then, a few days after the birth, while I was still recovering at the hospital, I got a phone call. Apparently, Tristan had been attacked by a bear in the mountains while out foraging for herbs to eat, and he was rushed to the hospital. Fortunately for him, there was no danger to his life. But not so fortunately, he was genuinely broke, with not a cent to his name. He gave the doctor my number, who, not knowing what else to do, gave me a call. I still hadn't been discharged from the hospital, so there was no way I could do anything. Tristan's dad was kind enough to rush out to him, though. However, from Tristan's perspective, his dad was probably even more terrifying than the bear. Now that the birth is out of the way, and I have my son to look after, all that's left is to wait for the divorce to be finalized. Then, I can finally focus on mine and little Tommy's future. Thank you for watching! Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey, Sandra. You get finished up at the gynecologist?
Yeah, I'm just on my way out now, actually.
How'd it go?
I'm pregnant. They told me I'm 3 months along.
Oh my god, really? Yes! We did it, baby. I can't believe it. This is the best day of my life. What an incredible moment this is. I could do a song and dance. I'm so happy. Yippee!
Me too, sweetie. Isn't it amazing? It doesn't feel real yet, but I'm over the moon. It's like this weird, surreal mix of overwhelming joy and not feeling like I'm in the real world anymore.
No kidding, babe. I know exactly what you mean. I wonder if it's gonna be a boy or a girl. I can't wait to find out. You don't know the gender yet, right? Is it still too early for that?
Yeah, of course it is. We won't be able to find out for a little while yet. If I had to guess, I'd say next month at the earliest, but more likely it'll be the month after.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess we'll just have to hold tight then.
Do you really want to know? Do you have a preference either way? I know a lot of guys want their first to be a boy.
Nope, I'll be happy either way. I just think knowing the gender would make it a lot easier to imagine what life's gonna be like after it's born.
You do have a point.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I have to tell my parents the good news. I could do it over the phone, but I think news like this deserves an in-person visit. Should I head over now?
Would you mind waiting just a tiny bit longer? If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to wait until I'm a little further into the stable period. I'm sure everything will be fine, but God forbid we went around telling everyone and then the worst happened. I've been told it's best not to get your hopes up too much this early on.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. Okay, how about we pay my folks a visit once we know the gender? That way we can reveal everything in one go.
Would that mean I'd have to go to your parents' house?
I know visiting my folks might not be right at the top of your list of favorite things to do, but I think it'd make a good impression if we both went over to deliver the news in person. My mom and dad are pretty old-fashioned, so I'm set to take over my dad's company one day, and what they really wanted was for us to move in with them to help look after them in their old age.
I'm sorry that didn't end up panning out.
Forget it. I already told you it's fine. It wasn't your fault anyway. You probably wouldn't have been so opposed to the idea if they weren't so horrible and disrespectful to you. I totally get it.
I knew they hated me ever since we first met. I can't believe they still flat out ignore me despite us having been married for over a year now.
I'm really sorry about my parents, babe. They're impossible. But I want you to know you haven't done a single thing to deserve any of it. And it's not your fault. I hope you don't let it get to you. It's not your fault you were raised by a single mom. It really bugs me how they constantly bring it up, as if you should feel bad about who happened to give birth to you. And the only reason you didn't end up going to university was because your mom encouraged you to find a job instead, right? I think the way they poke fun at you for not having a degree is totally unfair. To be honest with you, I think they're a pair of oddballs.
Do you think maybe I should go to university as a mature learner? You do hear about people getting their degrees in their 30s, sometimes even older. Maybe that way your parents might back off, and who knows, they might even start being nice to me.
Oh, don't be silly, babe. You don't have to force yourself to go to university just to satisfy my parents. Besides, they think degrees are worthless unless they're from elite universities.
I see. I wonder if there's anything I can do. I offered to lend a helping hand with the family business, but your dad said he'd rather I didn't.
I'm serious, Sandra. I don't want you to worry a bit about any of the crap my parents say. Just forget about them. Obviously, it'd be a little awkward if you didn't come along to family events and special occasions, what with me being lined up as a successor to the business and all. But beyond that, there's no need for you to have anything to do with them. Let's keep your interactions to a bare minimum, okay?
You're right, I like the sound of that. But still, they introduced me to everyone as Little Miss Helper at the last Thanksgiving dinner. I'm not sure I'm going to be much use to your image as the next company president when they treat me like this.
I'm really sorry about that, babe. I'll have a word with them both about it, okay? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. What was going on with you and my big brother at Thanksgiving? You never usually talk to him.
It's not like we were making idle small talk or anything. He just asked me to help him with the dinner arrangements.
Even still, I think it'd be best if you didn't have anything to do with my brother.
Really? Why is that?
Remember when I told you before about him showing up out of the blue to move back in with our parents?
Yeah.
Apparently he got wrapped up in some shady business with some very bad people. Mom told me he didn't have a cent to his name, and when he turned up on their doorstep at 11 p.m. that night, they took him in and are keeping a roof over his head for the time being because he has nowhere else to go. But my brother's always been a lazy good-for-nothing. I mean, he dropped out of college for crying out loud. Who even does that? I'd be worried about you getting wrapped up in some kind of trouble if you two started getting along.
I doubt we'll start getting along just because I helped him set the table on Thanksgiving. That's literally the most we've ever spoken. I barely know anything about him. And besides, we hardly ever see each other anyway. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy that at least one member of your family doesn't flat out ignore me.
Okay, I guess there's nothing to worry about then. Just make sure you don't go anywhere near him when we go to my folks' place in the future. Anyway, I'm about to head back to work.
Good luck, sweetie. I hope you're ready for tonight's supper. It's gonna be a tad more luxurious than what we usually have. Get excited!
Woo! You're the best, babe. I can't wait. Drive safe on the way home from the gynecologist. You're not the only one you're looking out for anymore.
George, are you there? Will you be coming home tonight?
Oh, I'm so sorry, babe. Some stuff went down at the office and I got kept way later than I intended. Can you believe Graham from accounting forgot to log one of the biggest orders we've ever had? The entire team's running around the office like headless chickens trying to clean up the mess he made. It'd be comical if it wasn't such a freaking disaster. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it home for a little while yet.
Wow, I see. That does sound pretty chaotic. Have you found time to eat amongst the madness?
Yeah, I stopped over at my folks' place on my break for a bite to eat. Oh, damn. You didn't make supper, did you?
Yes. You didn't message me, so I assumed you'd be home on time like normal. But it's fine. Don't worry about it. You can always heat it up in the morning.
I'm really sorry, babe. How are you feeling today?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking. The morning sickness seems to have stopped now.
That's great news, but still, you're bound to have sudden bouts of sickness and nausea when you're pregnant. I want you to rest if you feel like you need to. Don't go overdoing it on housework or anything, okay, babe?
Don't worry, I won't. Oh yeah, did your mom and dad say anything about the baby? They didn't seem even remotely interested when we announced the pregnancy to them yesterday.
No kidding. They were just as rude and blunt with you as ever. But my dad's been going around the office today telling all his employees he's going to be a grandpa. Looks like the bluntness was just a front. He's over the moon.
I see.
He's had the biggest, cheesiest grin on his face all day. I think he's even happier because it's going to be a boy.
Huh? Why?
Because that means he can inherit my dad's company one day.
Does that mean that's what you want for our son too?
Yeah, obviously. I'd feel terrible if my family ever lost the company.
I see. Don't get me wrong, if our son grows up and decides he wants to inherit the company one day, I'll be 100% behind him. But equally, if he decided he wanted to do something else, maybe go into a different industry or do his own thing, following his own passions, I'd be there to support him in that too.
Sandra, you should have known what you were getting yourself into when you married me. We have to produce a successor for the family business. Me and you aren't the only ones in this relationship, and it's not our decision to make.
But I want to prioritize our son and what he wants over the aspirations of anyone else.
It's fine. You don't have to get it. I've always found the sight of you funny.
What's that supposed to mean?
Forget it. As long as I understand, that's all that matters, right?
Why do I feel like you're trying to imply something?
All you need to worry about is producing a healthy son for me, Sandra. It's paramount that he grows up to be as robust and vigorous as humanly possible. So stop worrying about inconsequential gobbledygook and focus on looking after yourself. If you ever find yourself struggling to keep on top of the housework, I'm happy for us to hire a maid. I'm way too busy to help out around the house, so it might actually make sense.
Are things set to get busier for you now or something?
Yeah, but don't sweat it. Things should calm down in time for the birth.
I see.
Oh, hang on a sec. I have a message for you.
Huh?
My mom just suggested you go and stay with her and my dad instead of resting up at your mom's place after the birth.
What? Your mom said that? Really?
I knew it. News of their first grandson has made them completely change their tune. They must be really pleased.
If they really are, that's amazing news.
Something tells me things between you guys are gonna change for the better real soon. I can feel it already. I bet they're both gonna start being super nice to you. Onwards and upwards, right? So what's it gonna be, babe? Go on, move into my folks' place for a little while after our son's born, won't you? She's extended you an olive branch by offering to take you in like this. Your mom still works full-time, right? I doubt she'll be able to spare much time to look after you if you stay with her.
Well, it's true, she does. But I'd be lying if I said the idea didn't make me a little nervous. I can't just forget about how they've been with me this whole time. I think I'd feel awkward.
There's nothing to feel awkward about, babe. Don't sweat it. Your recovery and our son will be their #1 priority.
Can I have some time to think on it a little?
Well, I guess you don't have to give me an answer straight away. But to be perfectly honest with you, babe, I'd have a lot more peace of mind if we moved in with them. You know how busy I get with work. I'd feel super reassured knowing they're around to look after you. We'll be able to see each other on my lunch breaks that way, too. What with their house being so close to my workplace, isn't that the ideal scenario in every way possible?
You really think so? Okay, sweetie, I'll think about it.
All right. Try to be positive and keep an open mind. If on the off chance you do move in with them and they start treating me like crap like before, I'll completely lose my shit with them. So if that's what you're worried about, there's no need. I have your back, Sandra. If you decide it's not for you and you want out, you can leave whenever you like.
Got it. Thank you, George. That makes me feel a whole lot better. By the way, what time will you be home tonight?
It'll probably be after midnight the way things are going.
Right, it's pretty late already.
I think it might make more sense to stay at my folks' place tonight. The trains are always full of weirdos at this time. Besides, I'm up first thing tomorrow morning too.
I see.
I'm sorry, babe. I hate leaving you on your own like this.
You'll get more sleep that way, though. I think it's for the best. Good luck with work. Hopefully they let you go sooner rather than later. Don't overdo it, sweetie.
You're right. I'd be of no use to anyone if I collapsed from exhaustion. You too, babe. That little boy in your belly is our number one priority right now. Don't hesitate to message me if you need anything. Good evening. Is this Sandra's number? It's George's brother, Adam.
Huh? Adam? Where did you get my number?
I'm sorry to message you out of the blue like this. I found it by looking through George's phone.
I see. So, what did you want?
I'm just going to come straight out with it. If you can, you need to divorce my brother. If you can't, don't ever come anywhere near this house again.
Huh? Adam, what the heck are you talking about? Divorce? Stay away from the house? Did I do something to upset you?
If you don't want your little boy to get stolen away from you, then I suggest you do as I say. Do not trust my family.
What's that supposed to mean? I am so confused.
You have been warned. You're not to discuss what I'm telling you now with anyone. Obviously, that also includes my brother.
Just slow down a sec. I have no idea what you're talking about. Wait a sec. Seriously? You as well? Are you saying all this stuff because you don't approve of me marrying your brother either? Ugh. I thought you were different to your parents. I can't go along with what you're saying, Adam. George is my husband. Surely you can't be serious. Could you at least explain why you're saying these things?
You're planning on moving in with us for your recovery after your son's birth, right?
Yes. George works a lot and I'd struggle a lot raising a little boy on my own. It was your mom's idea.
My family are planning on stealing your baby when you move in with them.
Steal? My baby? That's crazy talk. Why on earth would they do something like that? Me and George are his parents, so naturally we'll have legal custody. Even if they did steal him, we could just go to the police.
You're tragically mistaken. If they do get their grubby mitts on the boy, you may as well think of it as being the last time you see him.
Adam, please, what you're saying is absolutely insane. What exactly am I supposed to say to this? What, should I just blindly believe you? I need to discuss this with George.
No, you mustn't mention a word of this to my brother. He's fully on board with my parents' twisted plan.
No way, he'd never agree to that. George was over the moon when I announced the pregnancy. I've never seen him so happy. He loves me.
Do you really believe that? It's time to wake up and smell the coffee, Sandra. He's been coming home late ever since you announced you were pregnant, hasn't he?
That's because he's busy with work.
Not to lie. His company has a no overtime policy.
What? Then where has he been? He said he had overtime today too.
It's time you learned the truth about my brother. About who he really is. And about what he and my family are planning together. You should prepare yourself, Sandra. This is going to come as a shock. Are you ready to know the truth?
I'm ready.
Very well. I have plenty of proof, so I'm going to start from the beginning. I doubt he'll be going home to you today, so time won't be an issue. All right, Let's start with this photo. Sandra, where are you? I couldn't find you at home and your mom says she hasn't heard from you. Why would you leave the house without saying anything like this? Come home, please. I'm so worried you wouldn't believe.
Are you really worried about me?
Sandra. Oh, thank God you replied. So where are you? Go on, babe, tell me. I'll come straight out to get you in the car.
I'm not telling you anything. Don't even bother asking me why. You should know better than anyone else what's going on here.
What? Seriously? It's because I don't have a clue that you got me so worried. Before long, it'll be time for you to bring our little boy into the world. What the heck have gotten into you?
Do you know when I left the house?
Wasn't it today?
No. I left a week ago.
But you were messaging me normally until yesterday.
That was only to keep you from noticing. You pretend you're so worried about me, but you only come home to see me once a week.
That's not my fault. What am I supposed to do? I told you how crazy and hectic things have been for me at the office lately.
I know you're lying. You've been at the person you actually care about's house, haven't you? The only reason you married me is so I'd give you a son to inherit the family business. You were planning on divorcing me and taking custody the moment he was born.
Wait, what? I have no idea what you're talking about, babe. That's crazy talk. Come on, surely you know I wouldn't do that to you. What happened to make you act like this, Sandra?
If it's a divorce you want, great, because I do too. I have mountains of evidence of you going in and out of your lover's house when you were supposed to be doing overtime. Not to mention all the recordings of you and your parents discussing your wicked scheme to steal custody of my son. I'll never let you have him.
Wait, have you been talking to my brother? Come to think of it, he moved out of my parents' place a few days ago. God damn it, that asshole. He's been filling your head with lies, hasn't he?
All your brother did was tell me the truth, and I'm thankful to him. He's the only member of your family who isn't a despicable piece of shit.
Holy heck, Sandra, don't call me that. I'm your husband. No. You can't believe a word he says. He's a despicable one, not me. Trust me, believing him will be the worst mistake of your life.
So tell me, George, how am I supposed to believe anything you say? I know for a fact you've been cheating on me. I also know your girlfriend's incapable of having children. I also know that your parents refused to approve the marriage because she wouldn't be able to provide you with a son. They told you that they'd only agree to the marriage if you found someone else to give birth to a successor for the family business. That's why you married me, isn't it?
No.
Why do you insist on lying? I told you, George, I have evidence. I'll never believe another word that comes out of your mouth.
Sandra, please. Please come home.
That won't be happening.
Do you want money? If it's money you want, I can pay. Name your price, just give me the boy.
Don't screw me around, asshole. I am not selling my baby. I'll be raising him on my own. I'll never let any of you within 100 miles of him.
Sandra, please, you have to believe me. I never wanted to do any of this. My mom and dad, they wouldn't let me marry my girlfriend if I didn't give them a grandson.
Why couldn't you have just adopted like any normal human being would have in this situation instead of hatching a twisted child-snatching plot built on a web of lies?
They said he had to be blood related. I told you, my parents are old-fashioned.
You really are a grade A idiot. You and your family must be the biggest morons ever to exist on the face of the earth. Do you think being worried about not having children of your own gives you the right to do what you did?
What choice did I have? I can't let my dad's company change hands. It stays within the family at all costs.
Even still, that doesn't give you the right to use me like some tool to be manipulated into giving you a son. Is that all my life is to you? Is that all our son's life is to you? You're sick. If you really must do what you tried doing to me, at least be honest about it from the get-go and find someone willing to go along with it for money.
Sandra, please, I'm begging you. If you don't give me the boy, my parents are gonna force me to marry the daughter of one of my clients. She's so ugly. Babe, we're talking about a level of ugliness that's so extreme, so off the charts. that she'd have a better chance finding a needle in a haystack than finding a guy to walk her down the aisle with her. And don't even get me started on her personality. Like a whole other can of worms. My parents said I wouldn't be allowed to divorce her. They're threatening to make my girlfriend break up with me too.
I don't care. None of this is my problem. Besides, what's the issue here? That sounds like the perfect fate for the kind of scumbag who'd trick someone into marrying him to act as his personal baby-making machine.
Sandra, please. I'm begging you here. My life will be over if I don't give my parents the boy. Listen, babe, how does it sound? I bet you want your mom to live an easy life, right? She worked so hard raising you all on her own. It's only fair she gets rewarded. One word from me and my dad will give her so much money that she'd never have to work another day in her life. She could live in absolute luxury, ease, and comfort until the end of her days.
Ugh, you invoke such a profound feeling of disgust in me that it's almost so hard to put it into words. We're talking about a feeling that goes beyond mere dislike or irritation. It's more like a visceral reaction, a gut-wrenching sensation that makes me want to physically recoil and distance myself from you as much as possible. I mean, please, did you seriously think I was suddenly going to give up my son as soon as you started dangling bags of cash in front of my eyes?
But money is important.
Sure it is. But I'll get plenty of money from the compensation you're going to owe me for the affair. Besides, I still have my savings left from back when I was single. I'm perfectly capable of raising my son on my own. What's more, I'm perfectly capable of repaying the debt of gratitude I owe my mom without a single cent of your parents' money. How about you stop treating me and my mom like a pair of helpless, needy peasants just because I grew up without a dad?
I'm begging you, Sandra, I mean it. My life is over if you don't help me out here. Please! I'll raise our son with love and care. He'll never want or need for anything.
How could you possibly be capable of looking after our son properly when you're nothing but a spineless yes man who kowtows to your parents' demands, no matter how absurd they are? I'm not going to let you sacrifice our son on the altar of your bizarre obsession with appeasing your deranged parents' every whim. I get that they're foisting all sorts of ridiculous demands on you. But that has absolutely nothing to do with me or my son. He will not be the successor to your dad's company, no matter what. I'm going to give my child a bright future where he can make his own decisions. With that, I swiftly divorced my husband and received a hefty sum in compensation. Apparently, just like he feared, George's parents forced him to marry his client's daughter because he failed in his task of procuring a successor for the family business. His dad, as promised, also drove over to his son's girlfriend, the true apple of his eye's house, and told her everything. Needless to say, she was disgusted beyond words and broke up with him before the day was up. To my surprise, a few months later, I saw a piece on the news about how George's dad's business had been ordered to pay a massive fine after being found guilty of tax fraud. Unable to find a lender to bail them out, they went bankrupt. With my ex-in-laws from hell no longer able to afford to have George around, he moved in with his new wife's family, and I hear that nowadays he helps them run their family business. I dodged a bullet when I divorced him after our short spell of marriage, but it looks like he has no way out this time. George's parents, now being broke, are now almost completely financially dependent on the financial contributions of his new wife's parents. Which means their entire livelihood now hinges on brown-nosing them to keep that gravy train chugging along. And for better or worse, they'll most likely remain married forever. I heard that George's new wife isn't particularly interested in him, but is desperate to have kids and enjoys having him around to help with the family business. Which means that now he has essentially been reduced to an errand boy and baby-making machine. What a sweet irony. Life has a funny way of working itself out, doesn't it? That said, I don't feel even an ounce of sympathy for him, and I'll never forgive him for as long as I live for what he did to me. I love he lives a life of eternal regret for lying to and deceiving me in an attempt to steal my son. Losing the love of his life and being forced to endure a life of marriage to someone he finds repulsive is only the beginning of what he actually deserves. While my ex-husband and his parents' lives descend into chaos, I gave birth to a beautiful, healthy baby boy. Between my savings and the whopping payout I got awarded in court for George's affair, I'm financially comfortable right now, so I intend on holding off on finding a job for a little while so I can focus on spending time with my son. George's brother Adam also very kindly sent me a generous celebration gift to congratulate me on the birth. I was so astonished when I saw how much he'd given me that I tried to decline and offered to send it back to him. But he insisted I keep it and wouldn't take a no for an answer. So I decided to put it into a savings account for my son when he gets older. To be honest, I thought Adam was a little blunt when we first met, but in the end, he turned out to be the only decent, kind human being in his whole family. He told me that the celebratory payout he sent me was no issue because he was the CEO of a company. My jaw almost hit the floor. I have my suspicions his momentary return to his folks' place had nothing to do with him falling on hard times, but was in fact part of a plot to expose their wrongdoing and bring them down once and for all. That's all just speculation on my part, though. The bottom line is I owe him a great deal, and I'll always be grateful for what he did for me. My only focus now is being the best mother I can be for my son. I'll never let anyone take him, no matter what. And I'm going to build a home full of warmth and love so he can flourish into the amazing person I know he is destined to be.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.